Your meeting went beyond perfect. They loved the demo. They nodded through your value proposition. They said things like, "This is exactly what we need." They were practically writing the check in their head. "This is a game changer," they said. "When can we start?" And then nothing. They disappear and vanish from planet Earth. No reply. No feedback. No closure. Your follow-up emails echo into the void like shouts in an empty stadium. You've been ghosted. And it stings like hell. You become an emotional mess. How can you explain it to your boss? But why do buyers ghost, especially after showing genuine interest? Here's the truth. Your buyer didn't disappear because they changed their mind about your product. They disappeared because they were terrified of what would happen next. This isn't just a sales problem. It's a human behavior response, triggered by uncertainty, mental pressure, and the psychological weight of committing to an uncertain outcome. The real reason people ghost forget everything you think you know about buying cycles, decision processes, maps, and sales patterns you learned. People's decisions are unpredictable because of constant mental and emotional changes. The reality is that most ghosting happens because of one simple, uncomfortable reality. People would rather disappoint a stranger than face conflict at work or at home. At its core, ghosting is a form of emotional avoidance. It's not always about you, your product, or your pitch. Often it's about them, their fears, their politics, their risk tolerance. Here are the real reasons buyers ghost you. 1. Fear of making a bad decision. The higher the perceived risk, the more the buyer hesitates. In B2B especially, one wrong decision could make them look foolish, waste budget, or trigger internal backlash. Even if they like you, fear always wins. 2. Internal misalignment. They may have loved your offer, but someone above, below, or beside them didn't. In many organizations, buying committees rule. Your champion might be facing invisible resistance, and rather than say, "I couldn't get alignment," they disappear. It's easier that way than losing face. 3. Decision fatigue. We assume buyers have a clear head. They don't. They are lost 99% of the time. They're juggling internal fires, critical priorities, multiple vendors, and shifting obligations. What felt urgent and immediate yesterday gets buried today. Ghosting isn't personal. It's a prospect's coping mechanism for survival. 4. Loss of justification. They liked your solution, but couldn't get the numbers to work or justify the switch to their CFO. Rather than reopening the conversation and losing face, they went dark to avoid sounding stupid and awkward. Ironically, silence often feels easier than honesty. I learned this the hard way when I was selling marketing software to a restaurant chain owner named Vinny. Vinny and his board team loved everything about our platform. During the demo, they took screenshots, asked their IT guys to join our next call, and even negotiated payment terms. Then nothing, zip nada. They went missing all of a sudden. 6 months later, I bumped into Vinny at a trade show. After an awkward hello, he looked embarrassed and said, "Man, I'm sorry. The CFO handles the budget, and when he saw the price, he said we couldn't afford it. I just didn't know how to tell you." Vinny wasn't avoiding me. He avoided the conversation with his CFO about why they would be spending money they didn't have on expensive software they couldn't afford based on their current revenue. They were shopping for software while broke. The psychology of avoidance. Here's what's really happening in your buyer's head. They love your solution, but somewhere between yes and signing, reality hits. Their boss might think they're irresponsible with money. Their team might resist a new change and a new learning curve, especially if they have had bad past experiences. They might look foolish if it doesn't work. No one wants to look like an amateur in a world of professional settings. And they might have to admit they don't actually have the authority they pretended to have. Human egos are powerful, and it's hard to admit that you have no weight in decision-making while someone is addressing you like you do. So they choose the path that feels safest in the moment. Silence and staying low, hoping the sales rep will give up quickly. The shocking truth about interested buyers. Most buyers who ghosted weren't actually qualified to buy in the first place. They were interested in buying, which feels the same to them, but isn't. Interest is emotional. Purchasing is political. Your buyer might genuinely love your product, but be unable to get it approved. Rather than admitting they wasted your time and their own, they vanish. It's not malicious. It's human. There, for your disappointment tolerance should allow for a 20% chance that your prospect may vanish at any stage. With continuous follow-up and soft support, they may come back again when the time is right. What this means for you: stop taking ghosting personally. Start seeing it as data. When someone ghosts after showing strong interest, they're usually telling you one of three things. 1. I don't have the real authority I claim to have. 2. I can't justify this internally. Failure means my reputation may get tarnished. 3. I'm scared of making the wrong choice, which may lead to losing money or my job. How to handle it without losing your mind. You don't need to chase ghosts, but you do need to build frictionless re-entry paths and emotional safety. 1. Blame complications in life. Say, "Hey Vinny, I know these decisions can get complicated. If now isn't the right time, no worries at all. But if there's something I can help clarify, or if the situation changes, just let me know. Either way, I appreciate the time you gave me." 2. Name the awkwardness. Say, "I know sometimes timing shifts or internal priorities get in the way. Just checking in, has something changed on your end?" 3. Offer them a clean exit. Give permission to say no without guilt. Say, "If now's not the right time, no problem at all. Just let me know and I'll step back." 4. Keep the door open. A no today doesn't mean no forever. Say, "I'll circle back in a few months in case the timing's better." These short messages do two things. 1. Preserves the relationship. 2. Positions you as a low-pressure, high-integrity advisor, not a desperate vendor. The uncomfortable reality. The hardest part about ghosting isn't the lost sale. It's the lost closure. You're left wondering what you did wrong, when the truth is you probably did everything right. Your buyer didn't ghost because you failed. They ghosted because they couldn't face their own limitations. The reframe that changes everything. Every ghost is someone who wanted to buy but couldn't figure out how to make it work internally. They're not your enemy, they're your proof of concept. When you stop chasing ghosts and start building systems that make buying easier and less scary, fewer people will disappear. And the ones who do? They're just making room for the buyers who are actually ready to move forward. Because in the end, the people who ghost you are protecting you from deals that were never going to close anyway. Better to know now than 6 months from now. Take the signal, not the silence, as your cue. Sometimes the most brilliant move isn't to push harder, but to detach with grace and reposition for a later play. Because in sales, your emotional resilience is your revenue engine. And ghosting? It's just part of the terrain, not a reflection of your worth.